Hi people, my name is Victor again, of course, as always. Yeah, people really seem to enjoy me delving into the minds of others, which is good. It's appreciated. It's good to see that the feedback is positive. Of course, that's not the main reason for why I'm doing it, or that's not the number one reason. But still, it's good to see that people actually appreciate specifically the whole mind delving occult exercise, especially the targets that I choose or the people that I choose. Yeah, let's keep this short. Another interesting person, definitely for occultists, Crowley. I'm gonna dive into Crowley's mind. Of course, Crowley is long dead, but yeah, let's just delve into Crowley's mind and see what is up. I think this one will be the most interesting one yet. So yeah, I'll be diving into the deepest recesses of Crowley's mind. I'm at 100% maximum. Yeah, let's go. I'll count down from 10 to 0 for myself, and once I've done so, or once I reach 0, better said, I will dive into the deepest recesses of Aleister Crowley's mind. Aleister Crowley, the famous occultist. Okay, I will dive into the deepest parts of Aleister Crowley's mind. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, I'm underwater. I'm sinking to the depths of the ocean, some unknown ocean. Again, I'm seeing a great white shark, but he's not seeing me. He's just swimming around miscellaneously. I briefly saw like an oasis-like island, and now I am in what looks like 18th century England, like the Industrial Revolution, around the same time that I think Winston Churchill was prominent or similar. In any case, either 18th or 19th century. Everything is dark. Streets of England. I also need to state that there is a heavy emphasis laid on Anubis, the Egyptian god Anubis. Even before I delved into Crowley's mind, I saw Anubis. I'm more than familiar with Anubis. I have an article and a video on Anubis that people are more than willing to check out. Welcome to check out, I mean, if they haven't done so already. And Anubis is saying that I was his patron and guardian, at the very least one of them when he was alive. Or at the very least I was one that he enjoyed working with heavily. That's the way I like to view my relationship with him, okay? Isis and the Egyptian goddess Isis and Maat also made a brief appearance. Isis more prominently than Maat, essentially. This essentially stands for the spirits that Crowley had a heavy rapport with. Yeah, I'm seeing Crowley in his get-up, but he's standing next to me essentially. This is simply a fragment of his mind, essentially, his astral energy, as well as his full astral body. Okay. Okay, now in any case, I'm standing and I think, yeah, it's a Golden Dawn temple, and I'm seeing like a statue to Isis, and I'm seeing Crowley with a bunch of other guys, and yeah, these are guys are also prominent. These guys are like, yeah, it's in like the main thingy of the Order of the Golden Dawn, I think, their main temple. And I'm seeing guys, I can't put my names on, my thingy on their names, but these are guys that serve with Crowley. It's hard to figure out their names because my main focus is Crowley. In any case, Crowley is leading the whole thing. He's wearing a red robe and like an Egyptian headdress. And the rest of the guys are like standing behind Crowley, and they're wearing black, and they're like going on their knees. They display typical worship-like behavior. and chanting stuff. And now I'm seeing Crowley. Now I'm seeing Crowley. Before I even saw this image, I got strong homosexual vibes all of a sudden. I'm seeing Crowley essentially being bent over. They're wearing the same clothes, and it takes place in the temple. And one of Crowley's associates, like I mentioned, is again, no disrespect meant towards Crowley, but he is being taken from behind by one of his colleagues, and he seems to enjoy it. Of course, on a personal level, oh boy, I definitely dislike seeing this, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm impartial to the whole thing. Okay, deeper. I wish to go deeper, as deep as possible. I think I'm seeing, I don't know if Crowley had children even, but I'm seeing Crowley stare at, now I have like a POV overview of Crowley, so a point of view overview, and I'm seeing Crowley stare at a child, and the child is calling him Dada, but like it's like the child is calling me Dada, because I was standing in Crowley. And again, heavy emphasis laid on Anubis. Set also briefly made an appearance, the Egyptian dark god Set. And it's like Anubis was essentially blessing that child by the same way that a priest essentially baptizes the child. Anubis briefly touched that child's head, like a flick or like a brief touch. Crowley is aware of it, but he's not saying anything to a woman that's standing next to him, also wearing like the ritual clothing. I don't know if it's his wife, but she looks an awful lot like, it's a really beautiful woman. She looks an awful lot like Isis, but it's like a combination of Isis and Maat. And she's really beautiful. I mean, really, like on a scale of 0 to 10 globally, she's like an 8.5, an 8 at least. She's really good looking, and she's also she also displays a certain amount of promiscuity, but she noticed me. Yeah, I'm just gonna be blunt here, okay? She showed me her thong, and yeah, that's all. And she's saying that's all you get, all the while smirking promiscuously. Wow, okay. Okay. Now I'm seeing Crowley hold a book. I think it's the Egyptian Book of the Dead. That is all essentially. He's just rummaging through the pages. And for the rest, honestly, that's all I'm getting. Even if I want to go deeper, I'm being told that there is no deeper, honestly. The rest are just like miscellaneous thoughts, like psychedelic thoughts, essentially, of Crowley essentially briefly smoking, and then him essentially diving into some kind of pool with completely transparent water, but everything in the background is dark, and it looks like you're in space at the same time, because I'm seeing like, how should I put it? I'm seeing like stars and but not like you would see from Earth, as if you were in actual space. And I'm seeing like I want to say space clouds, like those multicolored clouds or vapors you see in space when looking at any image of like any astronomical image or anything like that. Okay, now I'm seeing Crowley stand in front of like a poster with symbolizing lunar cycles, and he keeps going clockwise like this. And I'm also seeing Crowley have an interest in astrology, but it's not as strong. It's more like, not superficial, but between superficial and an intermediary. Um, oh boy, and I think Crowley might have at least had a thought for bestiality, because now I'm seeing the same image that I said, Crowley being taken from behind, but instead of one of his colleagues, it's like a freaking dog. Looked like a Doberman in the first instance, but now it's like a German Shepherd. But yeah, he seems to be bored with the whole thing, and he's like, yeah, it's not as nice as the real thing. Not as nice as being gay is what he's saying. But and yeah, that's essentially it. Like I said, I'm being told that there are no other deep-seated thoughts to Crowley, you know? It was just, there are like other muddy and murky thoughts, like I said, but these are just psychedelic thoughts, essentially. Nothing substantial or, so to speak, mention-worthy. Okay, now I'm seeing Crowley stand in front of like a statue of that symbolized both Anubis and Set, depending on the level of worship or on the simple day or on just pure intent. And yeah, Seth says some people like to simply put us together. We don't have a problem with it. Intent matters after all. You know that, Master Moreno? Yeah. Okay. Nothing else? Okay, I'm done. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's all, guys. I'm done. That was Crowley. Enjoy.